Hello, my beautiful and lovely Libras. This is your horoscope for January 2025. Now, January will have amazing energies. First of all, January 6th, we have Mars moving into your 10th house. To say precisely, crawling back because Mars is retrograding, and that's how we'll welcome 2025. And Happy New Year, my dear Libras. Welcome to your new life. Welcome to new month of a new year. Now, this Mars, that's how we welcomed Mars. It was retrograding since December and it will keep retrograding until February 24th. So, first 2 months of this year, we will have slow start and even first 4 months because until April, all of these personal planets will retrograde. Now, Mars is planet of action, desire, our engine sort of motivation, and it's in your 10th house from 6th of January. And it seems like your progress sort of will be slow or delayed. If there was a promotion that is due, that will be delayed most probably up until end of February, for example. Or if you've been planning to change your career, again, you might feel sort of indecisiveness. You might sort of feel hesitation there from yourself or from other party, like a hiring, I don't know, manager, as an example. So something related to your career, might be sort of slow or stuck until end of February. Now, Mars rules your house of contractual agreements, and it seems like it's most related about signing contracts. Maybe you are postponing for one or another reason, signing contract with another company, as an example, or signing contract with about your promotion within your own company, not necessarily like changing, as an example again. Now also 10th house is all about family, and specifically your social status, like whether you're married or not, and plus it's about your father. And here it might be that your father will come visit you, as an example, or you might go to visit your father too. And it might be, again, you might have a lot of hesitation there around your social status, like whether you're married or not married. And if you got a, let's say, marriage proposal, seems like you will take long to think. You are not so sure if that's your person. If it's that your, like, if this is your situation, my dear Libras, seems like that hesitation will be present up until end of February. You might decide only in spring whether you want to really marry this person or not. Or in general, even if you don't have a proposal, you will be thinking like quite a lot about this situation around your relationship, like committed relationship, as an example. Now, 10th house is, as I said, it's a house of career, and that's why and achievements like title, nomination. Seems like you might be thinking also about what kind of achievement, what kind of goals you want to have as your, I don't know, highest point, for example. Now, January 13th, we have full moon in your same 10th house. Now, full moons are all about conclusions, or they bring something to light. They reveal something and they show something. And here, 10th house, this full moon will conjunct Mars because this Mars is retrograding in your 10th house, as I said. Now, those of you who are born 16th of October, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this full moon because it's happening at 23 degrees. Now, this full moon will have shocking sort of character because Uranus is very active there, and it will send exact positive, let me tell you, important information, positive aspect to that full moon from your financial house. Now here, this full moon might bring you result of the already the situation which is present in your life. Usually with full moons, nothing's new. It just puts some light into some situation, or they bring conclusion. And for example, because Uranus is in your 8th house, house of other people's money or bank money, if you've been trying to apply for a loan, for example, or I don't know, change your credit card plan, or mortgage situation, whatever is that related to bank money and taking loan, seems like this full moon will have surprising effect that you've got approved that money, as an example, because plus it's conjunct Mars, and Mars is about a contract there. Now also, like eighth house is about taxes. The same, it can be that if you've been busy with your tax return, again, this will have amazing and positive result, some sort of news there. 10th house is also house of career, and here you might actually receive a news that you are on a promotion list, which will surprise you positively too, my dear Libras. It can be, but because Mars is retrograde there, it seems like you will need to wait a bit of time with signing contract. Now, 10th house is also house of father, and Uranus will be in your house of health too. 8th house is about house of well-being, healing, and it might also give you some positive news around your father's health. As an example, these are all examples, or someone who you respect, or a bit like grandfather, for example, too. Uranus naturally rules your house of business and children, and here some of you guys might surprisingly do well. Let's say your business is going well, and plus you attracted amazing investor, for example. Out of nowhere, this investor comes in and puts money into your business and makes it more bigger, and you are growing, let's say. For some of you, it might be news about pregnancy, because Uranus rules your house of kids, and plus it's in the house of conception and fertility. If that was your wish, this full moon will give you the status, because 10th house is about status, social status of becoming parent or pregnant, as an example. Now this is full moon, happening in your 10th house. So first part of this January will be totally focused around your career, social status, sort of this area of your life. Now January 29 will have one of the most amazing and one of the important transits of 2025. Lunar nodes, they are changing signs. They are always two, and North Node moving into your 6th house, South Node moving into your 12th house. Finally, because for the last a year and 8 months, it's been you, my dear Libras, who hosted this lunar node in your sign, and for the past a year and 8 months, your life could have changed drastically from one to another, so you will understand which kind of very important this transit is in astrology. And I talked about these lunar nodes a lot in your 2025 horoscope. If you haven't checked it, go check on my channel, and always check your rising sign too, because that's the most influential one. But sometimes it's sun sign, sometimes it's moon sign. So actually check all of it and compare which one affects you the most. Now, because of these lunar nodes, we have eclipses happening in those areas where they are located. Now eclipses, they are like rocket ship of universe. I call them rocket ship because they in split second can take your life up and can take your life down. It depends totally on your natal chart, on your situation in life, but in general, these eclipses are amazing tools of universe to direct your life path. And usually once in a lifetime, never forgetting, kind of situations happen, karmic situations happen when eclipses fall in these areas, like particular areas where these lunar nodes are. Now these lunar nodes, I will briefly mention here in your 6th house and 12th house. Now that axis, now the line between these two houses in the sky, it's, service axis. Now, seems like you might get in the next a year and a half quite focused around your daily routine, around what you work, your occupation, what do you want to do, let's say daily, because a lot of you guys might change your job, and in general professional area, because 6th house is about work and also about colleagues, also about people who work for us. For example, if you have nanny for a long time, that person might change. like might leave you for some or another reason, or vice versa. You might hire a new nanny who will stay with you for a long time, and sort of she or he will become uh, like a family member, for example. It's also how, the access of health. Some of you guys will experience some sort of health situations related to your well-being, like sport as an example, or massage treatments, or I don't know, some relaxing treatments as well. But in general, because it's not like daily things, because it's a huge thing, when eclipses happen, it might be something which will change your life. For example, you might totally change your eating habit, or let's say you might start doing sport consistently, as an example, like hitting gym. Or there might be some, let's say, issue around your health that you will be dealing with in the next year and a half. Now, anyhow, I will make a whole separate video on these lunar nodes because it's a big topic. So stay tuned in January, my dear Libras, and subscribe. Now, January 29th, we have new moon. New moons are all about new energies, new person, new story there. It's happening in your house of joy, fifth house. 9 degrees. Now, those of you who are born 2nd of October will be affected the most by this new moon. And new moon will have amazing support from Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is planet of luck and abundance and happiness. And Jupiter will be situated in your house of travel, house of foreigners, house of education, also 9th house. Now, new moon is happening in your 5th house. Seems like some of you guys, like for example, if you have kids, if that is your situation, your kids might start going to some international school, for example, and you will be crazy happy around it. Or your kids might get accepted to that international school, or maybe if they're a bit older, then it might be university somewhere abroad, and your kid is going to college again somewhere abroad. Could be like where they have, where he or she needs to study different language, for example, use different language, learn different language too. For some of you, this new moon might be totally about business, because fifth house is also business. Some of you guys might open a business somewhere abroad too, or with someone who speaks different language and who is from different culture. Like you will make a agreement with this person as a business, I don't know, partner, and you might start business, register a business, for example. For some of you, it might be about love. Now, fifth house is all about true love, falling in love, romance house, when we feel this, dating period, when we are like all happy and light and like in the beginning of the relationship, like this beginning period. And it seems like it might give you, this new moon might give you opportunity to meet someone who will make you fall in love, who will sort of attract you and plus impress you. And that person, again, seems like is not from your background, like cultural background or religious background or language background. Someone who could be speaks different language, and that meetup can happen, might be happening during travel. You might actually, during travel, meet someone special, like sort of a, holiday love, or I don't know, vacation love, something like this. Now, because it's also children's house here, you might also travel somewhere with your kid, as an example, my dear Libras. And if you guys, some of you guys who are like especially in art, like dancers, singers, I don't know, actors, this new moon has great energy for you to bring your talent to the world. You might get an opportunity, you might be presented with an opportunity to showcase your talent, like to give a performance, to, I don't know, to travel with your group of dancers, let's say, to somewhere abroad to perform, as an example. Now, lastly, January 30, we have Uranus, planet of surprises and shock, going direct. Now, it's finally direct motion in your house of finances, 8th house. Now, 8th house is all about other people money. And here, Uranus it stays in one sign for 7 years, 7 long years. And for the past 7 years in your eighth house, it might have given you quite a lot of shocking situations related to money that comes into your pocket from other people or other um, institutions, like about your scholarship. For example, one month it's there and one month it's not, because that's how I call Uranus. It's about roller coaster planet, sort of up and down, up and down. Your situation was, as an example, your spouse, let's say, was earning a lot of money, but next day not so much, let's say. As an example, first year, let's say, it was amazing, but next year totally minus. This is all examples, or like the money, not the ones that you earn, but that come into your pocket from someone else or from governments, like your scholarship or inheritance. Also, you might have received all of a sudden out of blue sort of inheritance, or lost inheritance too, as an example. And also Uranus might have given you in the past 7 years shocking situations about pregnancies too, because eighth house is about fertility journey, is about conceiving a baby, conception house. And some of you might have been shocked to find out that you're pregnant, as an example. But Uranus will be moving out from your eighth house this year. It's also another big transit. We will talk about it in another video. Now, anyhow, always check your rising sign. As I said, it's the most influential, but check all three actually, sun and moon too, so that you get to compare in general which one affects you the most, and with January horoscope too, my dear Libras. I wish you amazing start of the year. Love you all. Bye bye.